Hello, welcome to this summer session with me, Ollie from Vegetarian for Life, or V for Life. We are a charity. We support older vegetarians and vegans, anyone over the age of 50, and we do lots of cookery sessions and give lots of advice. If you like the things I'm cooking today, please go on the website. It's vegetarianforlife.org.uk. We've got thousands of recipes on there and loads of useful stuff for you. It's not just for vegetarians and vegans, it's for meat reducers. Lots of people need to do that for various reasons. So yeah, be sure to check that out. I think it should be popping up below you right now. Below me, rather. Today we've got a summer and Olympics style themed session. So I'm going to be making some healthy, low fat, high energy, high protein vegan cookery. So I'm going to be using tofu a lot. I've got some nuts and then lots of veggies and some fruit as well. I'm going to be making a blackberry, raspberry and fennel salad. So that's quite unusual, having some fruit in a salad, but it's kind of a French style thing. I had something similar when I was in Paris years ago. I'm also going to make a Piperade. It's a Basque dish which involves cooking some peppers with onions, tomato, garlic. It's a lovely, lovely dish. Again, this is going to have added tofu to it for protein. You'll find any vegan athletes, and there are lots these days, will definitely be incorporating some kind of soy into their diet because it's so low in fat, high in protein, and high in vitamins like calcium and things like that. So yeah, this is the Olympics theme coming in here. I'm also going to make a protein-filled calorific milkshake as well. So great, when you're on the go, something quick, which is going to have bananas, so great for potassium, great for recovery as well. Some nut butter, cocoa powder, and some milk as well, some vegan milk, either soy milk or oat milk or whatever. So yeah, I should probably get cooking. I'm going to start with the Piperade first of all. So I've got a couple of peppers, a red pepper and a green pepper, and I'm just going to take out those pips from inside, and I'm just going to use half of each. I'm making a half recipe. If you've got the recipes in front of you or you've had a look, I'm just going to make a half recipe for this one because this one feeds 4. It's quite a lot, so I'm just going to make half that amount. So just dicing the peppers really thinly. I want to soften them and really cut them down in the pan. Peppers are great, really full of vitamin C, great full of fiber as well. I've got just a regular white onion, and I'm just going to nip the top off it and take the bottom as well. I'm not going to dice this onion. I'm going to create slithers or little strips of onion. And then get my pan on, medium hot. Slice that onion in half. As I said, I'm making a half recipe. This recipe takes 1 onion. This is quite a small onion, so I'm going to add the whole one I've got here. So just little slices like that. Get a cooking oil. I'm actually using this avocado oil today. I've started using it quite a lot because it's really good for high heat cooking, so grilling, roasting, things like that. But it's also good for drizzling as well. So it's a really universal oil, and a good glug of that. But you could use any light oil, like olive oil, or something like a rapeseed oil as well if you want. Crush my garlic and then just peel off the skin, and then we'll just slice that up thinly as well. In go the onions. So this dish, Piperade or Piperade, it's a Basque dish. So it's going to have some Mediterranean dried herbs in it. And it's also going to have some smoked paprika, so that gives it that traditional Basque or even Spanish taste and flavour and colour as well. Going to fry those onions up, they smell amazing. And this is a dish you could have, it's just creating this great sauce, tomato rich sauce, which you could have with some like rice or perhaps some bread if you want the carbs. The tomato, I'm just going to slice up, quarter, and then again chop that. You could pour over some boiling water in a bowl, leave that for a few minutes, peel off the skin, but I'm just going to include the skin as well. Okay, so put that to the side. Onions frying nicely, they've gone quite translucent. A little bit of colour going on there, so you can drop the temperature down a little bit and then pop in the sliced peppers. And we're going to fry those up for a few minutes as well. So this is the tofu, and I'm going to add that just at the end. It's a firm tofu. You can usually find that in the refrigerated areas of shops. And like I say, it's really high in calcium, B vitamins, protein, but it's low in calories, no cholesterol. And I'm going to use about 125 grams of that. I'm just going to crumble that in at the end. Doesn't need much cooking really. It's so versatile. You know, you can fry tofu to get it really crispy, like in lots of Chinese style dishes. You can blend it into other things. We've got a recipe for meatballs on our website, where you just blend it with all the other spices and herbs and things, and then roll it into a ball because it's got a lot of moisture in there. So it's really good for things like that. Obviously, when you fry it, you're trying to get rid of that moisture, so often you'll press it out beforehand, salt it, press it out, and then before frying it in some oil. So the peppers are nice, looking good, nice and softened. I'm going to chuck in the garlic. Fry that for a minute or so. I don't like to overcook garlic. I certainly don't cook it with the same time as I cook onions. That's because it tends to burn easily and it can taste bitter. So yeah, I definitely cook it a lot less than onions. I'm just going to put in the tomatoes and then the herbs, the paprika, and a little touch of turmeric as well. Turmeric's also really anti-inflammatory, so good for recovery from sports and things like that. Okay, that's looking good. So I chucked the tomatoes in. They've obviously got a lot of water in there, so that's going to stop any and want some charring, just reduce the temperature, and then I get my herbs in there. So about a teaspoon or so of Mediterranean herbs, about a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a little bit more if you like it, I really love it, and then just a pinch of turmeric, good pinch of salt. A few grinds of pepper. And then give that a stir. And we're going to just put that to the side, let that cook down. I'm even going to add a touch of water as well. So just put that on the back burner. And I can start the salad. So it's a lovely, fresh, sweet French style salad. And the first thing I need to do is make a dressing, a vinaigrette type thing. So kind of classic style one. Vinegar, oil, lemon, a little bit of mustard. A good glug of olive oil. Usually you'd probably have white wine vinegar in this, but apple cider vinegar is good as well. And also it has a lot of health benefits to it. It's really good for digestion, bloating. I mean, it's been touted as a wonder cure for many things, but I can't vouch for that. But yeah, certainly good for aiding digestion and promoting weight loss as well. And then a little bit of mustard. And just whiz that together. Touch of salt. And then you could add something sweet in there as well. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of honey, if it's not vegan. Or a little bit of maple syrup. I'm going to leave that just as it is, nice and simple. Smells really good. I'm going to add a little bit more water just to help cook it down, so it doesn't stick to the bottom or anything. So I've got my dressing, and now I'm going to use some silken tofu. So this is going to add more protein to this salad. This is similar to the other tofu I showed you. It's just a bit like when you make cheese, you can get softer cheeses to harder cheeses. It's just all to do with the pressing, where you separate the curds, and the way where you coagulate it. So the silken tofu is a lot softer, and it's made of the same stuff, just made from soybeans which have been curdled. And I'm just going to open this up, pour off. There's usually a little bit of water in there. Pour that off, and then I'm going to blitz it with the vinaigrette. So just in a little blender. You could even use a whisk for this. And I'm going to use about 75 grams of this tofu. This is a 300-gram carton. Okay, that should do it. So a little bit of noise. And then you should have this great creamy sauce, lovely creamy salad dressing. We can start putting together the other elements. So just a lettuce, whatever lettuce you have really. This came in a veg box, so it's a seasonal cos lettuce, I think. And then a big salad bowl, or you might want to plate it up individually. This will serve about 3 to 4 people. I've just given this a good wash and shaken it. There you go. So lay in my salad dish with that. Quarter cucumber. I'm gonna slice that and then slice it again lengthways, and then just pop it the other way. And I'm gonna go in with diagonal slices like this. Those to the side. Watercress. So a bag of watercress. This has been washed already. UK produce, in season, lovely and peppery, great for the blood. Watercress. This is a great recovery salad as well. So that's about 80 grams of watercress. I also have some walnuts, so full of magnesium, full of amino acids, proteins, good fats, so really good food for an athlete or anyone doing sports as well. And I'm just going to toast these for a few minutes in a dry pan. You can also pop them in the oven just for 5 minutes or so. Let's check on the Piperade. So that's looking really good now. Everything's sort of cooked down, the peppers softened, the tomatoes just blended into a sauce really. Smells delicious, it's rich. Really good. So that's almost ready. Just going to leave it just bubbling away there on a really low heat. About 50 grams of walnuts. We can crush them up a little bit. I'm just going to put a little bit of colour on those. Help bring out the flavour, bring out the oils. So the other things I've got some fresh blackberries, fresh raspberries. Just giving these a good wash. They're both UK produce. I think the raspberries are even organic. It's a great time of the year to buy berries or even go pick berries. I found some wild raspberries the other day. They're a lot smaller, not as sweet, but going to be full of phytonutrients, much more powerful than regular farm-grown raspberries. Less sweet, smaller. Blackberries are coming into season as well. August is when we see all the blackberries pop, and you can see them everywhere, can't you? Even if you live in inner city areas, you can find areas of shrubland or behind a park. So they're great to pick, and you can freeze a load. It's great in your morning muesli or your porridge or whatever. So I've also got some fennel here. I'm just going to use half a bulb of fennel, and I'm going to try and slice this really thinly. You could even use a mandolin or a grater if you want. So those walnuts are pretty much there. Turn off the heat, let them sit in that pan, they'll still keep cooking. And then I'm going to slice this fennel as thinly as possible. You could even roast it if you want. Just for about 20 minutes in 180 to 200. But really delicious raw as well. Just like I say, make sure you cut it really thinly. You don't want to be chomping on a bit of raw, huge chunk of raw fennel. It's not going to be that nice. And you can include some of the tops as well. A lovely aniseedy taste to them. You can also make, I think we've got a recipe on our website for a delicious fennel orange dill salad and beetroot. That's a really nice summer fresh salad as well. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off this. Just let that sit there. And then crumble in the tofu as well. So the firm tofu comes in a little packet of water, so you just want to drain that off. And I'm using about 125 grams of tofu. If you don't use all the block of tofu, keep it in the fridge submerged in water in a container, and try and change that water every day until you come to use the tofu. So I'm going to chop this up roughly. Traditional Piperade would not have tofu in it, but this is great because it's adding that extra protein element, which would be great for an athlete or anyone that needs more protein in their diet. Of course, we get protein from everywhere. We get protein from vegetables, whole grains, everything has protein, and people worry a lot about getting protein on a vegetarian or vegan diet, but it's really not that difficult, and it really depends on your activity levels as well. Like I say, if you're in the Olympics or something, you want to get more protein because you need your muscles to heal and rebuild. But most people, you don't need that much protein, although we do need more protein as we get older. But it's really not hard, just in our regular diet. We have a variety of fruit and vegetables and nuts and seeds and pulses, and you shouldn't have to worry. Just try and include some protein with every meal. Okay. So pop in my cucumber, my finely sliced fennel, and then let's dot some of these berries through the salad. It's going to add a lovely punch of colour as well. Drizzle over the dressing. Make sure you can see that. So the creamy dressing. Lovely. Before just finishing it off with the toasted walnuts on top. And then you could even finish with a few drizzles of extra virgin olive oil as well. Gives it a nice sheen. And you're adding some extra good fats in there as well. So there you have it. That is a wonderful summer blackberry, raspberry, and fennel salad. Piperade looks great. Well, that tofu has just cut through a little bit. I mean, you can eat it raw. It's a very versatile thing. Pop that in a bowl. And like I say, this would be great with some rice on the side, some potato, or even some really good quality bread. There we go. So we've got our piperade. You could freeze that as well and just bring it out when you need it. Put it in the fridge and it'll last a few days. I'm just going to make a quick milkshake as well for you. One banana. A tablespoon of cocoa powder. So this is an unsweetened cocoa powder that you use for cake making or drinking chocolate or something. It's one of those. Good dollop of a smooth peanut butter or any nut butter. This is going to add a really nice amount of fat and good fats and protein. and also going to taste great. And then about 500 millilitres of a good vegan milk. Soy milk is going to be good because it's got a higher protein content. I'm using an oat milk, it's one I had in the fridge. Oats are also super good for you, great amount of fibre in there as well. And this one doesn't have any bulkers or emulsifiers or added oils or anything. It's just got oats and water. You could also make it yourself. We've got some recipes for making your own oat milk or almond milk. It's super simple. Just combining water and the oats or the nuts, usually blending it together and then squeezing it through something like a cheesecloth or some kind of muslin cloth or a nut bag or something. And you can also add maybe a date or a little pinch of sea salt or some vanilla, just to make it a bit more interesting, a bit tastier. And we just blend this up, give it a good shake first. Sorry, I thought I'd put the spoon in for a second. Don't want to do that. I did once do that in a flat, and it was a glass blender, and the spoon just flew straight through the glass. There we go. You could have also added something sweet in there. A lot of these pre-made milks might have something sweet in there already. You could add a touch of maple syrup if you wanted it sweet. But the oat milk is quite sweet already, and the banana is obviously sweet. So, perfect. That's really, really good. Great sort of pre-workout shake or even a recovery shake as well. Even a touch of turmeric in there, help inflammation after exercise. You won't even taste that. So there we go. We've got some great recipes, especially for the Olympics, or whatever level you're at out there. So hope I've inspired you slightly. We've got loads of other summer recipes on the website, barbecue ideas, pulled jackfruit barbecue ideas, burgers, all sorts of things. Also how to veganize classic dishes like lasagna and different pies and everything you can think of. Meatballs, I talked about tofu already, making that into meatballs. So yeah, go on the website, be inspired. And thank you so much for joining today. Hopefully I'll be back again with another theme towards the end of the summer or in the autumn or perhaps in the winter, maybe some Christmas ideas. So hope you've enjoyed today. I'll see you again soon.